Yo, what is good, guys? Back again with another tutorial, and today we're going to be going over a classic vintage Tupac t-shirt design from the 1990s. I'm just going to be breaking down how it was made and different techniques you can use to make your own vintage designs. Okay, so as you guys can see, we have our design right here, and the one on the right is the image that I found. I thought it was a pretty cool design, that's why I picked it. Not too much going on when he gives you that old school like 90s vintage vibe that a lot of people like. That's still kind of popular today. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. We're gonna start it from scratch and then we're gonna go from there. So let me go ahead and make this a little bit smaller. I'm gonna keep it right here just for reference, but we don't need all this real estate. So man, there we go. Alright, so the first thing that's really eye-grabbing in this design is the text. And I know finding like vintage text from designs from like 30 years ago is going to be kind of hard for some people. So if you check the description, I actually put together some of the most popular fonts that were used back in the day. And you can download it for free if you want to go along with this, or if you want to just use it for your own designs or whatever. So you can go download that, and yeah, you can go along with me. So for this one, I'm actually using a font called Bernard MT. That's MT condensed for the one on the left. It's not the exact same font, but I think it's probably as close as I can find. So we're just gonna go ahead and start and type me, and we're gonna make it about 240 pixels. Oh yeah, also, you always want to make your designs around 600 pixels by 7500 pixels, and you want to make sure that the resolution is always 300 pixels per inch. Forgot to put that in the intro. So we got our me right here, and then we're gonna go ahead and add some more text. Make sure it's capitalized. Type against. Hit Control T. Hold Shift and wait till you see the little curve, like the curve, and rotate it while holding Shift until you see that 90 degrees. And then click OK. Then we're gonna go back to the move tool, and down, right there. Next, we're gonna do the world text on the side right here. So I'm gonna type B. Now this one is actually a different font. Like if you look at the M-E right here and you look at the E right here, you can tell that they're different. This font over here is actually called, I don't know, what is it called? Breed something. It took me a while to find this one. And you can see it's pretty similar based off of the diamond on the E. And yeah, man, that font took me forever to find. It's actually in the font collection down in the description as well. So we're gonna go ahead and type that, and then we're gonna put world. Why did I do that? Don't do what I just did. Just click it. Click OK. Control T again. Hold Shift. Let's get that about right there. Move that down, and I'm gonna make a few little changes to this text. I'll make this a little bit smaller, about right there. Hold Control T. Hit Control T. Hold Shift again, and we're actually gonna stretch this one to make it a little bit taller. As you can see right here in the example, it's a bit taller, and we're gonna try to match this one as well. So that's fine for right now. Gonna move it over to the end here, and we're also gonna do this for the world font as well. Hold Shift again after you hit Control T and pull it up like so. There we go. Make sure we line this one up. And we're just gonna actually, I don't know if we're gonna stretch this one, we're just gonna make it a bit bigger. And actually make this a little bit smaller. Just trying to make sure that the fonts are pretty parallel. Actually might give this one just a bit of a stretch. Holding down shift again while I'm doing this. And again, you can find these fonts in font pack in the description, so you can have these exact ones. Actually, I'm gonna go here, Control T, stretched out a little bit as well. Might stretch this one a little bit in. That in a little bit. I think that's okay for right now. And we're gonna grab the me, the against. Actually, we're gonna grab all of them. We're just gonna make them a little bit bigger, just in general, just to fit the document. I think that's good right there. And let's go a little bit out, nudge it out. Not too much, that's fine. And yeah, that's the basis of the text. So for the text styles, which is one of the more prominent things of the design, I actually have a very, very similar text style that I created based off of similar designs, not this exact design, but a really close one. And it's available in my Streetwear sauce kit. It's actually this one right here. It's not the exact same, but it's very, very close. So we're gonna go ahead and use this one on the against, the me, the and the world. And of course we're gonna go in and change a couple colors here, but I mean, it gives you the same type of vibe. It has the distortion inside of the text, as well as a similar, drop shadow effect that we're looking for. As you can see, like in this design right here, the drop shadow is kind of at a angle. So we're gonna go in and adjust the angles. So we're gonna come in right here on our angle, on our drop shadow, in our blending styles, and we're just gonna adjust it something similar to the one that we see right here. And as you notice, it's gonna adjust everything that's in the document, but that's okay. If you want to disable that, you can just turn off use global light. But I mean, it's fine because we're gonna be doing it similar to all the rest of the fonts anyway. And yeah, let's go ahead and make sure we get the right angle. I'd say it's about a 40 to 40. Let's try 40 degree angle. There we go. Now, just because of that, we're kind of clipping here, like as far as like the me and against, it's kind of cut off the document, but I'll go in and fix that. So let's go into the against. As you can see, it kind of had a gradient overlay on it. We're gonna get rid of the gradient overlay because if you look at it, it's not really a gradient, it's more like a solid color. And we're just gonna snap a quick color from here, and that's too blue. So we're gonna turn it down. It's kind of a greenish blue. I think that's okay right there. And for the drop shadow, we're also gonna make this one red. So drop shadow, just gonna find a nice red. That's fine. I'm gonna copy this because we're gonna be using this in a little bit. So we're gonna take this against and we're gonna copy it to the D because these two are the same. Paste that on the D, and as you can see, it's flipped. And we're gonna go to the me here, and we're gonna actually get rid of the gradient because there's no gradient in this one. We're just gonna give it that same red hex code that we just copied. So we're gonna right click, go to blending options, And then you could just add a color overlay, but it's okay. Just remove these little dots. And then we're gonna go to the color here. We're gonna paste that in, which is 940000. And yeah. Let's also change this green because this green is a little bit too bright. You gotta go and select that green right there. Boom. Then we're gonna come here to this me, copy layer style, and we're gonna paste it on the world. Boom. And just like that, we have our text, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very quick. And this is the importance of having templates, guys. It makes it real fast, real easy. It takes a lot of the work out of it. The next thing is the assets that's in the background. Picture of Tupac right here in the middle with the moon and the earth. With some color correction on it, and another little small image right here with the keep your head up, thug-like text going over the top. So I did a little cheating. I already had compiled some of the images that are included in this, so we're just gonna go ahead and bring some of them out. Now I'm gonna just let you guys know I couldn't find this exact picture right here. I couldn't find it, so we're just gonna have to go with another one. It's from the same photo shoot, but you know, it's not the exact same, and obviously the earth is not the exact same either, but I mean, hey, we just gotta use what we got. So actually we're gonna make this earth, first things first, make it a little bit smaller, because as you can see, it kind of tops out at the top of the text. It kind of like goes a little bit in under his shoulder blades. So there we go. I think that's good right there. Same with the moon. We're gonna make it. Actually, we're gonna make Tupac a little bit smaller, just a tiny bit. We're gonna move it down to about there. Take this moon and we're gonna make it a little bit smaller. It's gonna top out right here a little bit. Over the T. There we go. This image of Pac is kind of over the top of the text. And what I did was I just found the image. I took a elliptical marquee tool, held shift, and made a circle around the images and just cut it out. Not too much. So I'm just gonna take that, and as you can see, it has a little stroke around it. So I'm gonna right click, go to blending options, and we're gonna add a stroke. And it's gonna be outside. And we're gonna go ahead and come in and take the same green, click OK. Let's make it about 40 pixels. Now, if you actually look on this text right here, let's actually move this in a little bit because this is closer. It's actually over the top of his arms. If you look at the shadow text of the world right here, it's actually an outline on it. Now you can't really do that in blending options. You can't put an outline on that text. So what I did was big brain move here. We're going to take this world text. We're going to duplicate it by right clicking and going to duplicate layer. Boom. We're going to drag the copy underneath, and we're going to go right click and go all the way down to rasterize layer style. Now what that does is it turns it into a full image, right? And then from there, I took the magic wand tool, made another layer, and we're going to make sure that this second one is selected right here at the very top, because this one you can select multiple different things and have them both highlighted at the same time. I have all of your selections selected at the same time. So we're just going to select. You also want to do this on the actual layer that you have that you rasterized a second ago, and you're going to click all of the green. I have my tolerance at 10. I don't think it's going to affect it too much if you don't, but just to let you know. And we're going to select all of the green. All of the green shadow. We're going to go to that layer that we just made, and we're going to go to image, edit, stroke, and we're going to go outside. Let's try 15 pixels. Boom. And as you can see in this image, we had the black text around it, right? The black stroke around it. Now we have that same black stroke, and we're just gonna go back and enable. We're gonna get rid of this copy because we don't need it anymore. Get rid of that. And our text is still kind of outlined there. Boom. Also notice it on this D as well. So same thing. We're gonna duplicate the layer. Drag the copy underneath. Right click, rasterize layer style. Make sure the wand is selected. Create the new layer, drag it underneath. So, again, make sure that the layer is selected that you just copied as far as the text. And then just go ahead and select the background, the drop shadow of the text. Again, 15 pixels. Delete the Z copy. Oh, made a mistake. Control Z, greatest thing ever invented. So make sure you have the new layer, not the text layer. So you can just get the stroke isolated. And stroke again. There we go. Delete that text. Get the details back in the shadow. So we're looking okay right now. So the next thing that I noticed, of course, about this is the Thug Life text and the Keep Your Head Up text. And it kind of looks like there's like a black undertone right here under this text, not necessarily under this one. So just gonna go in and we're gonna type Thug Life. And we're going to go to the warp right here at the top, and we're going to go to arc lower, and we're going to drag this bend up. I say about, let's try it at 40. We can always come back and adjust it. We're also going to make the text smaller. Click OK. Just going to drag it on top. Now we're going to hit Control T again, and we're going to hold Shift and pull it up. Pull it up. Not too much though. Just similar to the image. And I think that's pretty close. Right there. And the next text is the Keep Your Head Up text. Exclamation point. And we're gonna click on the TT right here in our properties tab. Now if you don't have that, you can always just go to properties right here under Windows, and this window will pop up. You can just change the glyphs of the text really fast. And we're gonna make this, I'd say, let's leave it at 50 for now, then we can come back. Then we're gonna go to the text warp again. We're gonna go to the flag kinda, cause it kinda has like a little wavy. Go up. And I mean, that's fine. I mean, it's not perfect, but Okay. Actually, we're gonna make it a little bit smaller, and then we're actually gonna transform it by hitting Control T again, holding Shift. Just gonna make it a little bit taller. Move it over. Just rotate it a little bit. And then from there, we're gonna add another layer underneath this text, and we're gonna grab a brush. I just grabbed a soft round and make it about 300, 350 around there. Make sure it's black. I'm just gonna go underneath that text just to make it pop a little bit. There we go. Move the text just to fit it a little bit. Grab the eraser just to kind of keep some of that off the text right there. There we go. Of course, we're gonna go in and add the text styles on the text. Just right click. Let's go to blending options. Actually, let's go in a little bit more. Sorry, I don't have the highest resolution image of this design. It's blue text. Seems like a red undertone. I mean, a red drop shadow and a red text right here with the blue drop shadow. So they're kind of like inverted. So for this one, just right click, go to blending options. And we're going to, let's get this stuff. Gonna go to color overlay. We're gonna grab a blue. That should do. I'm gonna copy this hex code because I'm gonna need it in a second. Let's add a drop shadow. Distance isn't that far. I'd say that's about good. I'm just gonna take the red that we got from right there. Reduce the noise. Kind of gotta play with the distance just to kind of get it something similar. It's not too far from it, but it's enough to where you can kind of like make it out. I'd say that's good. So then we're gonna add a stroke, just a small black stroke inside. It's fine. Let's do about 6 pixels. That's good. Then let's go to keep your head up text, go to the blending options. And then we're gonna do another color overlay. Let's take that same, let's actually put that blue on the drop shadow. We're gonna come here and take this red from the southern text. And it's okay. Add the same stroke. Let's actually move to center. Okay, so the next main thing that I see, of course, is the color corrections. As you can see, he kind of has gold tint on him. The earth has a bluish, yellowish tint to it with some black in it. And the moon is a little yellow with some deep black detail as well. So, just brainstorming and thinking about it, the best way I felt like to go about, doing this color correction was using some presets that I already had created. They're in the throwback tints color corrections that's in my website. It's a pack that we have available. So we're gonna go ahead and load up some of those, and I think there's one in there that's very, very similar to this one. So we're gonna go to the bottom right here, click this little circle, half circle, and click selective colors. And we're gonna right click on this. So we're gonna go to create clipping mask, and it's gonna have this little arrow pointing directly on the render that we're working on. It's going to be underlined, so you know exactly which one that we're working on. We're going to click this part right here, and it's going to come up in your properties. So we're going to scroll through a couple of these till we find the right one. This one is pretty close, but it's not, I think it was this one right here. So as you can see, he has the gold tint right now, and so we're just gonna go with that. Another thing I noticed about the image is, I think that's his pants, or his, I don't know, something. So go right here, add a mask, and we're gonna invert it. We're gonna hit Control and click the actual render and come to the mask. We're gonna come in with white, grab the paint bucket, fill it with white, fill the image, deselect, and the image is gonna be filled in white right here. It's gonna come back, and now you can go on an image and grab a brush. We're gonna go with black, and we're just gonna get rid of some of this, as you can see, because it's not here in the image. Just gonna get rid of some of that right there. I'm just gonna go in with the go around the outline. No Diddy. Boom. And then gonna make a new layer. Actually move this one on top. Gonna remove the clipping mask, release it, remove, release. And the text seems to be the same color. Just gonna take our paint bucket, fill it, deselect, come to our blending options right here. Just gonna see which one fits. I like it only here, burn. So now that fits, and we still get the blacks to come through. Next is Tupac in this one. So I'm actually gonna duplicate this image because it has layer effects on it, and I don't want that to be in the way. So we're gonna right click, clear layer style, and we're gonna have our flat canvas to work on right here. So what I'm gonna do is, here's Control Shift U, desaturate, and trying to think of a method to do here. So we're gonna take a brown brush. As you can see, it's a little darker here. So we're gonna make another layer right here. So let's make this layer, and we're gonna grab our brush, and we're just gonna there we go. You can come here, Control click the original layer, go to the layer that you just drew on, hit Control Shift I, delete, and it's gonna, if you went over the outside lines, it'll get rid of all of that. And we're going to go to our layers, layer styles right here, and I'm not sure which one I used. I think it might have been multiply. Just brighten it a little bit, and then you can come back with your eraser. Just make it a little bit smaller. Take the eyes out. Make this one a little bit smaller as well. Come through. Take the chain out. As you can kind of see on this one, it kind of has like a yellowish tint to it. So what we're going to do is add another selective color. We're going to create clipping mask for this one as well. Gonna go through a couple presets. That one's cool. Kind of change the opacity of it. And another thing I noticed is the blue. It's a little bit more, bright. We're gonna do the same thing that we did with the skin tone. And we're gonna go take this blue right here and gonna grab the brush tool and do the same thing. Said it doesn't have to be perfect. Again, I mean, if you drew as a kid, you gotta fill in the lines, avoid the lines, you know what I'm saying? The more you do it, the steadier your hand to get. Like, I'm not perfect with it by no means, but we get the job done. Again, do the same thing. You can come back to this original layer, like the circle, control click on that. Control shift I to invert the selection and delete everything that was outside of the circle. Now we can come to light color dodge. Then we can come in and clear it off if you made it up to the white. Made it up to the skin. Come in, do a little cleanup work. Boom. Also, if you're not really happy with the color that you use, you can always do a little color correction on this as well. Diffuse saturation, and again, create a clipping mask. You can kind of alter the color there of the brown that you use, or you can change any other color, make it brighter. Just make it a little bit darker, because if you look, like, his skin tone is a little bit darker here, so that's good right there. And we're gonna take the same approach with the moon. With the earth and the moon as we did with the this right here, as far as color correction. So same thing, select your color. We're gonna create a clipping mask for that, just for the earth, and just for good measure, just to get it out the way, we're gonna do levels as well. Right click, and we're going to create another clipping mask. You can see it's really dark. It has a lot of the white popping out, but the rest of it's pretty dark. Add some blues. We're gonna go through some of these selective color presets and see if we can find one. It's kind of fitting. Or we can just make a custom one here. Kind of like the blue in that one. Let's go to blacks. I would use blacks for the whites. Yellow. As you can see, we got some blues, some whites. Let's compare it to the one I did. It's a little bit more yellow, but more that type of yellow. We can come and mess with the levels a little bit more, just to kind of, see if you can get out of it. Just fooling around with it. I honestly think that's pretty good, just for the sake of the video. And next is the moon, and same process. Just gonna go in, add a selective color, just like that, and we're gonna add the same thing, shadow levels, and we're going to create clipping mask on the moon, and as you can see, kind of in this moon right here, the blacks are really black and the whites are yellow. So I'm just gonna kind of go off of that, you know. Just gonna go with some presets. I think that was pretty close. I mean, it's a little even more yellow, but we can fix that in the levels just by bringing up some white. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty goddamn close if you ask me. Now what I'm gonna do is gotta add the details just to give it more of a vintage look. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn off my background layer. I'm gonna Control A, Control Shift C. I'm gonna go into my t-shirt auto builder, which is available on my website as well. I did it a little bit earlier just to test it out, but I'm gonna paste it here again. Control T. Scale it down a little bit. Close it, click save. And boom, we have a complete vintage looking design here. Again, we did this here, like all the effects. We can close this out right now because we got our design. You zoom in, you got your halftones. This is only at 50% too, this is 100%. You got your halftones, you got your details and the text, you got your grunge, distortion, different, different effects, all just pre-made. All you gotta do is drop your design in and it gives you a complete vintage vibe on any design. And yeah, so the next thing you want to do, click that, Shift C, go into the paste selection spot and paste it in, and boom, you got your design. You can right click on it, click export to PNG, ready to go. And yeah, that's pretty much the tutorial, guys. Once again, guys, thank you for watching the video. We got more tutorials and all kind of stuff coming. You need any type of design, anything for vintage clothing, link is in the description. Once again, like the video, share it with your other friends who design stuff, and yeah, fuck with me, y'all. New videos coming.